I am now going to tell you a little bit about what's on my little mind today. All right. You know, I don't know if you follow the Powerball. I don't. But somehow yesterday I noticed it was $171 million. I don't think anybody won. $171 million. That's a good chunk of change for anybody to win. But I remember a few months back, somebody won like $2.8 billion. One person won $2.8 billion. So maybe I think, I was thinking yesterday, maybe I should just go buy a couple of tickets. But I didn't. The thing is, history has countless examples of winners whose lives took a turn for the worse after hitting the jackpot. They had bad luck. Some died, some lost all their money, including their homes and everything. Because they didn't know how to manage it. They gave it away, so people came to manage it and stole it. Money is not always a good thing to have a lot of. You got to be able to live, but on the other hand, too much is not always good. So I also know that the odds of winning are absurdly small. Being struck by lightning is a better chance than winning the lottery. And nobody gets, how many people get hit with lightning every year? So I decided that it's the better choice, the better part of wisdom to use my money for something more likely to improve my life. So I didn't buy the tickets. I didn't even spend. I don't know what I was going to do, but I haven't even spent the money I would have spent on the tickets. Then I remembered a midrash on this week's Torah portion that explains things very beautifully. The midrash begins by a midrash is something the rabbis wrote to help explain things. It's not necessarily a true story, but it's something that helps us explain things. So it begins by asking why Psalm 77, verse 21, compares Israel to a flock of sheep. It says, you led your people like a flock in the care of Moshe and Aaron. You led your people like a flock in the care of Moshe and Aaron. Okay, that's what it says. That's not midrash. That's what they're using as an example. So the midrash then asks a good question. A sheep is not the kind of animal that makes you think, wow, I want to inspire my inner sheep. Nobody says that. Nobody wants to be like a sheep. So, but sheepish means to lack confidence or show embarrassment. That's what sheepish is. It's not necessarily a positive thing to want to be a sheep. But in political slang, the sheeple are the citizens who just blindly go along with whatever their leaders want. Whatever they want. They say, okay, they always vote the same way. They do everything the same way. They don't compare what's good or bad. They just whatever I already believe in, that's the truth, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to follow them, period. So why does this psalm compare us to flocks of sheep? Why? It's not the best way to live a life like a sheep. So the Midrash's answer to the question suggests that just as shepherds avoid making life too easy for their flocks, God deliberately fills our lives with challenges. Oh, so what's the meaning of flock? Just like one does not bring a flock indoors under the shade of a roof, if you're a shepherd, you don't bring them in the house. That's crazy. But so too, just like the shepherd who doesn't bring the flocks into the house under the shade of a roof, so too, when they were in the wilderness, Bnei Israel was not brought under the shade of a roof for 40 years. They had to live outdoors for 40 years. Just like a flock does not have storerooms collected for them with food and all, they have to graze and eat from the wilderness. So too, Bnei Israel, for the 40 years that they were in the wilderness, were fed without storehouses. They had manna, they had stuff that they could find, but nobody had food for them like we have today. Even on Pesach, you can go to the store and buy almost anything you want. They have so many choices for Pesach. In other words, Judaism takes a very realistic view of life. We look at life the way it is. We don't make up some idyllic thing. Life is not supposed to be extremely easy. It is not. It doesn't work that way. Nature is not so easy on us either. Life is not supposed to be extremely easy. For some, it's harder than others. I know, and I agree, but it's not supposed to be easy. We were created to endure and benefit from a certain level of stress. We learn from it. They always say that expression, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. A sheep that is relieved from the challenge of grazing is not really living an authentic life. If a sheep doesn't graze and we just feed the sheep all the time, that sheep isn't a sheep anymore. I don't know what it is. Likewise, a human being who has no challenges has departed from a meaningful human existence. You got to have challenges. Everybody's got challenges. Life is a journey, and this journey takes us through good times and hard times. Every one of us, no exceptions. It takes us through celebrations of joy and periods of mourning. Our journey is not supposed to be easy or difficult. It's supposed to be a challenge, but not easy or difficult. So what is it supposed to be? Here's the answer that we learned. It's really simple. Our lives are supposed to be holy, whatever that means. We're supposed to live a holy life with God. The Midrash calls upon a verse from this week's Torah reading from chapter 33 in Bamidbar, chapter 33, verse 1. And it connects the idea of a journey to the image of a sheep. And it says the following: just like a flock follows anywhere that the shepherd leads them, so too Bnei Israel journeyed to any place that Moshe and Aaron took them. As it says, these are the journeys of Bnei Israel, to fulfill that which is written, you led your people like a flock through Moshe and Aaron. So, let's say I had bought a ticket and won the Powerball lottery. You know, I always tell the story. It's a joke, but I asked my wife, this is not true, it's a joke. Sounds like a Rodney Dangerfield joke, but I don't know where I heard it. I asked my wife, if I win the lottery and I give you half, will you leave? And she said, sure. I gave her the $2 and she didn't leave. but, but if I had won the Powerball lottery of $171 million, I hope I would have had the presence of mind to donate the lion's share of it to worthy charities, to Israel, to the synagogue, to whatever charities that are important. Because as is shown to us so many times, unearned wealth is the kind of thing that can and usually does ruin lives as they journey through life. And with that, I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisroel Chai.